Hey guys, Jack here and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the round of 16 in the World Cup. A lot of interesting results popping up, a lot of big teams getting eliminated. Let's just jump into it and I'll give you my thoughts on it. So the first game is Netherlands versus USA. I have a video done, it's probably in one of the cards up in one of the corners. But basically it was a tactical breakdown of what I thought right after the game. On reflection, I saw that the US, I think they still played well, but it was defensive lapse that cost them, and that's unfortunate. But Netherlands set up, exactly as I think Van Gaal wanted them to, and they deserve to win in the end. Next game is Argentina versus Australia. Argentina looked reasonably comfortable in the first half, but Australia did turn it on, and they looked very good, and it's a great story for them. One of my favorite moments from the game actually was I think it was in the 85th minute. I think Mitchell Duke elbows Martinez, and there's a foul for Argentina. But as Lisandro Martinez and I think someone else goes to square up to Mitchell Duke, who's on the floor, he stands up, and because he's such a towering figure, you can see the fear in the Argentinian players' eyes of okay, this guy's a lot bigger than we thought. It was just a funny thing. I'm probably gonna have to find the image now and put it as my screensaver because I thought it was that funny. Argentina looked a bit shaky, but I think they'll they're gonna be okay. Next was France versus Poland. I think it was a nice consolation at the end of it for Lewandowski to get another World Cup goal. I'm still not a huge fan of the rule that the keeper can't come off the line. In fairness, Lloris did come off so much, but the fact that they have to keep their feet so there's not much kind of wiggle room with it. But I kind of get still I'm not the best pleased with it. But regarding France, they looked confident, they looked secure. Mbappe breaking a record now. I think he's 7. I think it's 9 or 7 World Cup goals for someone his age is ridiculous. And Olivier Giroud becoming France's all-time goal scorer with 52 goals. I'm very pleased for him. Great, he's been very underrated for years. You don't realize how many goals he scored, especially for France. He just works so well with that side as a very selfless player, but he gets the opportunities. I mean, with 52 goals, he clearly gets enough of them, and he I think Mbappe is going to break that record. I think I saw it could be before he's 28 that he breaks it if he continues his goal scoring record. But credit to Giroud beating Thierry Henry. You can't fault him. Next game was England versus Senegal. England looked bit timid in the first half, and as a result, Senegal were able to capitalize on a few mistakes from the English backline. I mean, Ismail Sarr had a great opportunity, but credit Pickford, brilliant, strong hand to deny them from going up a goal. And surprisingly, Jordan Henderson get on the end of it. Jude Bellingham obviously had a brilliant game, but Harry Kane did as well, dragging defenders out, linking up play. I was surprised he wasn't talked about as much more. And then Foden as well, who just made brilliant runs, and Henderson, who proved that he is a very capable player, and his inclusion was obviously, it was obviously criticized because he hadn't really played, but you see his importance. He is kind of a captain figure, even if he doesn't possess the armband. And I think that's important because Kane doesn't offer that kind of leadership as Henderson does. And it was great for him to have a strong game. Next is going to be Japan versus Croatia. The first game of the tournament to go into penalties. Japan probably deserved to win in in regular time and extra time, but Croatia just were confident enough to hold out, and they managed to get a goal towards the end of the game to obviously draw it level, and they held out for the penalties. And Japan looked nervous. Minamino missing the first one obviously did a lot to affect that, but Livakovic in goals made the saves that he needed to, and Croatia put him away. They had a sense of calm to them. I don't know how they're going to get on with the with their next game, but because they're just going to be wrecked. They got through, and credit to them, and credit to Japan for surprising people, beating Germany, beating Spain, and just being tactically very aware. I think they just I think the fact that Croatia basically starved their forward line of any chances sitting quite deep. I mean, they couldn't break them down. So yeah, it's sad to see Japan go, but they had a great time while they were here. Brazil versus South Korea. I've never seen such a dominant first half performance, and like Korea set up differently to what they did in the group stages, but I think it did help Brazil that they were able to rest a lot of their team, and South Korea basically they're essentially playing a round of 32 game in the last tie, and like Brazil just looked brilliant. The goal by Richarlison, the little one-touch passing was brilliant, and seeing Tite, I think that's how you pronounce it, do a pigeon dance is by far the weirdest thing I've seen so far. Just couldn't. It looks strange, and you can see Dani Alves was leading it. He was pure vibes. He was going for it. But yeah, Brazil looked great, and I was surprised Neymar stayed on as long as he did. But that was the decision of the coach. So, and I'm going to be interested to see how they get on against Croatia. Next game was Morocco versus Spain, and like Spain, death of 1,000 cuts, or in this case 1,000 passes. It was ridiculous how much they kept the ball, but Morocco were fine with doing that. They sat deep. They didn't they didn't expose themselves to any huge chances, and they got a few chances on the break. I still think it probably would have ended a draw, like maybe a 1-1, because Morocco got on the break a couple of times, and if it wasn't for good defending and Unai Simon making a couple of saves, they would have won it. And in terms of Spain, they had a couple of chances, especially towards the end of regular time and extra time, where I think it was, was it who hit? Someone hit the bar, I think, on the last minute. Was it? I think it was Sarabia or someone. But yeah, and then the penalties, like Bono, brilliant. This is brilliant work just to kind of get in the heads of the Spanish players. But Soler, Sarabia, who both of them I think came on relatively late, a bit before the penalties. They didn't look confident at all, and I don't think that's a good tactic to bring someone on to take a penalty when they haven't really got a feel for the game. And then Busquets, I noticed, he seemed quietly confident going up, but then as time wore on, he saw how nervous he was getting. I think that affected him in the end, especially with the other two players missing. And then, but Morocco is a huge story. The first time they're in the quarterfinal, and credit to them, I'm pleased to see them getting there. And then lastly, Portugal versus Switzerland. It's the end of Cristiano Ronaldo as Portugal's striker. I can't believe I'm saying that, but he was obviously benched, and Portugal relied on youngster Goncalo Ramos, who did brilliantly, got a hat-trick and an assist, and they were all different finishes, and you saw what they were missing from Ronaldo. Someone who's very quick on the ball, can get the shot off very quickly, and they were all very good finishes. I mean, his first shot, where he had probably about a few inches to basically aim for it in order to beat the defender and Jan Sommer. I mean, he absolutely rifled it into the top of the net. And credit to Portugal, they looked strong. Granted that they weren't tested as much as I would have expected, because I think Switzerland sat a bit deeper. But they looked strong enough. Set pieces again they were caught out by, but it was a consolation goal for Akanji. And Leao's finish towards the end of it was brilliant. And I'm going to be fascinated to see how they get on now in the quarterfinals. So yeah, what a tie, what a round of 16, and it's been fun so far. I'm looking forward to the quarterfinal. I'll probably do a preview of those games, probably a video tomorrow or the day after, before the fixtures take place. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, take care.